If you're anything like me, you're probably always looking for the most efficient path to knowledge, right? You want all the key takeaways without having to wade through tons of material.
Absolutely, and that's what makes deep dives like this so valuable.
Exactly. So today we're diving into Kenton Patterson's blog post, Living the Dream Building Wealth, to help you kind of extract the most potent advice on how to create both a fulfilling life and a financially secure one.
Yeah, and I think we're going to touch on some pretty fascinating ideas here.
Yeah.
What exactly does living the dream really mean? What role does wealth actually play, and what are some of the most effective strategies to get there?
Yeah.
And I'm really interested in the whole connection piece that Patterson brings in as well.
Yeah, me too. So let's start right there with defining what living the dream actually is, because it's clearly a very personal thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, Patterson really flips the script on this whole idea. He says it's not some far-off destination that we're passively waiting for. It's about actually designing a life now that's fully in sync with your values, your passions, and your goals.
Hmm. I like that. It puts the power in our hands.
Exactly. And he gives some examples to kind of illustrate what he means. Things like having the freedom to travel without constantly worrying about money, being able to spend more quality time with family and loved ones, having the space to pursue your passions, and, even making a lasting positive impact on the world. So it really kind of makes you think like, okay, what does my personal definition of living the dream look like right now?
Yeah, totally. And wealth plays a big role in all of this, right? But he defines wealth in a very unique way.
Yeah, it's definitely not just about stacking up cash. It's more like wealth is the fuel that powers a secure, fulfilling, and ultimately abundant life.
So it's like a resource.
Exactly. It gives you choices.
Yeah.
It removes those limitations that hold you back and allows you to really shape your life on your own terms and to pursue the things that truly matter to you.
So it's almost like a prerequisite.
In a way, yeah. But he's very clear that, building this kind of wealth requires real conscious effort. It's not just going to magically appear.
Right.
It comes down to those fundamental principles of earning, saving, and investing your money wisely.
Okay, so earning, saving, investing. Got it. Those are like the building blocks.
Yeah, for sure. But now let's connect this back to the bigger picture for a second. Because financial stability isn't the end goal in itself, right? It's more like the foundation. It's what frees you up to really pursue your purpose, to focus on the things that bring you meaning without constantly feeling the pressure of financial strain.
Right, because, I mean, let's be honest, money doesn't guarantee happiness. But not having to constantly worry about money definitely takes a huge weight off your shoulders.
Totally. It creates space to breathe, you
Yeah.
know? And Patterson really emphasizes this idea that true success isn't just about the numbers in your bank account. It's about finding that sweet spot where financial security and genuine personal fulfillment work together in harmony.
Ah, the synergy between financial security and personal fulfillment. I like that.
Yeah, and he talks about how true wealth allows you to use your resources to create opportunities, maybe for yourself, but also for others.
Yeah.
It allows you to support causes you believe in and, even just build stronger, more meaningful relationships. And that's where wealth starts to go beyond just money, right? It becomes something that adds real value to your life and to the lives of those around you.
Yeah, makes sense. So where do we even begin to build this foundation?
Well, Patterson is a big believer in setting crystal clear financial goals. He says having that initial vision, whether it's, early retirement, owning your dream home, starting your own business, or maybe traveling the world, that vision is the spark that ignites the whole process. But then he goes on to say that that vision needs to be translated into specific, actionable financial targets.
Okay, so you got to break it down into bite-sized chunks.
Exactly, right. And this is where he brings in this whole concept of a wealth mindset.
A wealth mindset.
Yeah, it's basically how you view money.
Mm.
Is it a source of stress and limitation? Or is it a tool for growth and opportunity?
Mm.
And I love this practical tip he gives. He says, try to actively seek out one new piece of financial information every single week.
Like what? Like read an article or something?
Yeah, an article, a podcast, maybe a chapter in the book, just one thing. And he says that consistent learning builds confidence and it opens up your mind to new possibilities. And that's a key element of developing a wealth mindset.
Oh, I see. So it's like training your brain to see money as an enabler rather than a burden.
Exactly
Huh.
right. And I really like how Patterson breaks down the whole idea of wealth beyond just finances.
Okay, so there's more to it than just dollars and cents.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He talks about time wealth, which is basically, having control over your time and being able to spend it on things that truly matter to you. Then there's social wealth, which is all about having those deep, meaningful connections with people. And of course, there's mental wealth, which is cultivating a positive outlook and a resilient mindset.
And physical wealth.
Yeah, of course, taking care of your health and well-being. And then finally, there's a financial wealth, which is, what most people typically think of when they hear the word wealth.
So it's like a more holistic view of
Yeah,
wealth.
exactly. And it paints a much more complete picture, I think.
Okay, so we have all these different types of wealth, but what do we actually do with them?
Well, what's really interesting is how Patterson extends this idea of success beyond just accumulating these individual wealths. He actually goes on to emphasize the importance of connection and generosity, giving back.
So like contributing to something bigger than yourself.
Exactly. And he makes this point that, by supporting others and by actively contributing to your community, you not only make a positive impact on the world, but you also kind of tap into this deeper sense of purpose and well-being.
Like a ripple effect.
Yeah, exactly. And he talks about how kindness, authenticity, and community support, those are all essential elements of a truly rich life.
Okay, so that's really inspiring. But let's get back to something a little more concrete. How do we actually build financial wealth in a way that lasts?
Right. So on a more practical level, Patterson really highlights the power of having multiple income streams.
Oh, that makes sense. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly, diversify, right? And he specifically mentions OnPassive as an example of a platform that offers different digital tools and potential revenue streams for entrepreneurs who are looking to kind of diversify their income and create a more sustainable financial future.
Interesting. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
I think ultimately Patterson's core message is all about taking proactive control. It starts today. Define your vision, set those ambitious goals, and then actively work towards creating that life of abundance that you envision.
It's empowering.
Yeah, and he ends the post with this really powerful thought. He says, the key to success is in your hands. Embrace it and make your dreams a reality.
I love that. So as you kind of reflect on all of this, think about which of Patterson's wealths, social, mental, physical, or financial, which one of those resonates most deeply with your own personal definition of living the dream. And then ask yourself, what's one small concrete action that you can take today to start nurturing its growth? That's something to ponder until our next deep dive.
That's